What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with this series that I started. Been a while since I updated it as far as doing more installments of it. But I introduced the series last week, or it may have been even a week before that, where I'm going to give my top 10 NBA draft classes of all time. And at number 10, I had the 1998 NBA draft. At number 9, I have the 1999 NBA draft. And I think this draft kind of falls under the radar because there aren't a lot of huge stars that jump out at you when you think about it, when you think about the draft. And Ginobili's tricky because he was selected by the Spurs in this draft, but he didn't debut for them until, 2002? 2001, 2002? So, you don't think about it like it's one of the better drafts. But when you look at the fact that not only did this draft have Elton Brand, who was considered the best player in the draft, but ultimately, even though he did have a fine career, the guy that had probably the best career was probably Manu Ginobili. At least the people that I think of in that draft. But this draft had 9 future NBA All-Stars, as well as 3 winners of the NBA Sixth Man of the Year Award. Manu Ginobili, who's in the Hall of Fame, Jason Terry, and Lamar Odom. This draft class also had, of course, Elton Brand, 4 Dookies, Elton Brand, Trajan Langdon, who was a bust, Corey Maggette, underrated, William Avery. When you look at this draft class, number 1 was Elton Brand, number 2 was Steve Francis, a.k.a. Stevie Franchise, number 3, Baron Davis, guys who had Hall of Fame potential. Lamar Odom, number 4. Jonathan Bender was number 5. Wally Zerbiak, number 6. Richard Hamilton, number 7. Andre Miller, number 8. Sean Marion, number 9. Jason Terry, number 10. Langdon was 11. Alexander Radojevic, I don't even remember this guy. Alexander Radojevic, 12. Corey Maggette, 13. William Avery, 14. Frederick Weiss, 15. Man, he just knew what was coming for him in the Olympics the next year. Facial! Ron Artest, just looking down at 16. James Posey at 18. Jeff Foster, 21. Devin George, 23. Andre Karolinko, 24. Rest of these guys so far I'm seeing, they weren't really stars or guys like you really like, oh shit. Then Manu Ginobili, 57th. 57th. So yeah, I think the biggest overachiever in that draft is Manu Ginobili. And we all know if Manu Ginobili had chose to be a starter, his numbers would have been far better. I think he only averaged 13 points a game for his career, but he was a starter. You could add a good 6 points to that average. Yeah, man. Like, all these guys, man, like, when you look at it, that's another good question, though. I think I've done a video about this. If I haven't, I should. Is Elton Brand a Hall of Famer? I'm going to tell you something, man. What's going to skew everything, like I said before, what's going to skew everything is if they put Draymond Green in the Hall of Fame. Especially if they put him in first ballot. That's going to skew everything. in my opinion, because okay, Elton Brand scored 16,827 points, averaged about 16 points a game, 15.9, grabbed 9,000 rebounds, 8.5 a game, blocked 1,828 shots, 1.7 blocks per game. Two-time All-Star, 2006 All-NBA second team, NBA Co-Rookie of the Year in 2000, NBA All-Rookie First Team 2000, NBA Rookie Challenge MVP in 2000, won the Sportsmanship Award in 2006, National College Player of the Year in 1999, Consensus First Team All-American 1999, ACC Player of the Year 1999, First Team All-ACC 1999, USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year 1998, McDonald's All-American 1997, First Team Parade All-American 1997, Mr. New York Basketball 1997. Won the bronze in the FIBA World Championship in 2006 in Japan. Won gold in FIBA America's Championship in 1999 and 2003 in San Juan. Man, I don't know if that's a Hall of Fame career, but it's stellar. Steve Francis had that potential. Baron Davis, you know what I'm saying, had that potential, but injuries kind of, fucked him up and shit, man. 16.7 assists for his career, but I want to look at his prime years. He was an all-star two times. That's surprising. He was only an all-star twice. But from 2001 to 2008, Baron Davis averaged 19.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, 7.9 assists, 2.1 steals, 41% shooting from the floor, 33% from downtown, 70% from the charity stripe. But for some reason, I never got the impression that he shot only 41% from the floor. I don't know, man. He just seemed more money than that, man. But then again, we got to remember the era that he played in. Got to remember the era these guys were playing in, man. It was not as easy to score back then. It wasn't. And these new age, kids don't understand that, man. The game was different. Like 45% was 50% today, or better. 45% was 50%. 40% was like 45%. So it's like, what, 46% today. But, anyway, this draft was at the MCI Center. Well, back then it was called the MCI Center. Today, it's called the, what the hell is it called? Capital One. It's called the Capital One Center. It was on June 30th, 1999. And it's widely viewed as one of the best draft classes, as I said before. Pablo Pregoni, who was eligible for the selection but went undrafted, eventually debuted in the 2012-13 season as the oldest rookie in NBA history at age 35. I remember that. Pablo Pregoni. He played 4 seasons in the NBA for the Knicks, Rockets, and Clippers before starting coaching in 2017. Yeah, man. So, I think this draft was very strong, man. When we look at all of the stellar talent, not guys who were necessarily superstars, not a whole bunch of Hall of Famers, but just guys that you would see over the next decade and maybe a decade and a half on championship level teams or contributing to good teams or having stretches in their careers where they were all-star level performers. That's Elton Brand, Steve Francis, Baron Davis, or guys who were contributors to championship teams or championship level teams, Wally Zerbiak, Rip Hamilton was a star, not a perennial all-star, but he was a star with the Pistons. Sean Marion was a big factor on those Steve Nash 7 seconds or less teams. Ron Artest, of course, won a championship with the Lakers back in the 2009, 2010 season, was considered one of the best defenders of his era. Andre Kirilenko had a stretch where he was like just a beast of a player with the Jazz. You know what I'm saying? So, then of course, Manu Ginobili was a huge factor on those Spurs teams, winning multiple championships. Hall of Famer. Jason Terry, for a long time, one of the better guards in the NBA. Of course, he won a championship with the Dallas Mavericks in 2011. Lamar Odom, of course, won 2 championships with the Lakers. Had some maybe overly optimistic comparisons to Magic Johnson early on in his career with the Heat and the Clippers, but still, gotta give him love, man. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think it's the 9th best draft in NBA history. But tell me what you guys think.